Hey everyone, thought I would do a review for Procreate for the iPad, which is now called Procreate 5X. But instead of doing that, I thought I would Hey everyone, if you watch a lot of the videos on my channel, you probably know that I am a big fan of Procreate on the iPad. I thought it was about time that I did a review for Procreate on my channel, but I figured that might take a really long time to do, to go over all the really awesome features in Procreate and why I like it, and so on and so on. But instead, I decided I would do a video about what I consider the best features of Procreate. So like I said, I use Procreate all the time. I use it for animations on my channel. I use it for tutorials for Procreate on my channel. I use it on how to draw videos. So I use it for just drawing in. It is one of the best, if not the best, drawing app for the iPad, and I've used a lot of them and tried a lot of them. One of the things I like best about Procreate is just how simple it is. You have the size of your brush over here, transparency or opaqueness of your brush, undo and redo. You have your brushes, you have a blur tool, eraser, layers, which is probably my top feature of Procreate. I will not use a graphic or drawing app without having layers and a fantastic layers feature, and Procreate has a very packed layers menu. It's very easy to pick colors, and I could go on and on, but layers is one of my best features in Procreate, or one of my favorite features in Procreate. Another fantastic feature in Procreate is how it straightens out lines for you. So I could draw a line and try to get it to be perfectly straight and probably never get it exact just because my hand might jiggle it a little bit. But at the end of my line, I can stop and hold, and Procreate holds it, straightens it for me. You can do the same for a circle, square, pretty much any shape or any line. It even curves lines. But that's one of my complaints that just happened there. I could be drawing a curved line over and over and hope that it does the curve, but instead it will kind of angle it like that. So it's not perfect. Hopefully it gets improved in a later update. Another one of my favorite features is the reference pane. I didn't think I would use this that much, but they have a reference panel, and you can add an image to it that you might have in your photo gallery and use it as a reference. So like if you're drawing maybe a horse and you want to look at a horse while you draw it, instead of having to go back and forth between Safari or splitting your screen, you can put the picture of the horse into the reference panel and you can use that as a reference and draw it from there. Now, depending on your iPad, this face button here, it has a cool face painting feature where you can literally paint on your face. And on the left, the canvas, I can draw and it'll also show what I'm doing in kind of a smaller version. So if your canvas is zoomed in, you can see the full drawing right there in the little canvas panel. So another great feature that I honestly didn't think I'd ever use, and I use it all the time. So I mentioned animation. Procreate does have animation, and it's kind of traditional cell-based animation. So you can apply a background, you can set a foreground, you can add frames, and you have onion skinning, and you can just keep going and going. The number of frames you can put in your animation is dependent on your iPad and how powerful it is. When you play it, you can set the frames per second and set a whole bunch of other stuff. It is pretty feature packed. I'd like to see more features into animation. I know it's not the main thing of Procreate, but I would like to see some more features into animation. And one of the features, which I can't really show you on the screen, is how they have gestures and touch tools. So like, for example, I always use 2 fingers to undo, 3 fingers to redo. So you can program different gestures and different touches to do different things. I use it all the time. Once I started using the touch for undo, I stopped using the arrow tools to undo and redo. Another one of my favorite features that I use all the time is the blending tool. It's one of the best I have seen. It's like taking your finger to the piece of paper and just blending it along and making it look like you're blending your paper with the whatever you've drawn on it. So it kind of smears colors together. Works great. Another fantastic part of Procreate is the brushes. It comes with tons of built-in brushes. I generally use the brush pen, but I've been finding myself using a lot of the other brushes, including luminance, which I didn't think I'd ever use. I thought it was just kind of gimmicky, but it's basically a brush, different variations in the luminance menu of like kind of neon brushes, and you can do a bunch of different effects with it. Another great feature is that you can import brushes. So there's a lot of free brushes out there on the internet that you can import if you don't have the brush you need. You can also make your own brush. So the brushes and any brush you have doubles as an eraser, which is a really cool feature. Like I said, I could go on and on about all these features in Procreate, but I'm just going to go with two others. One that I use all the time for my videos is time lapse. Procreate will record your drawing as you do it as a time lapse. And if you step away from it, kind of go onto another drawing, go back to the drawing you were working on, it still has that in memory. So you don't have to worry about having to finish a drawing all at once. And then you can export that video and use it for whatever you want. Speaking of exporting, you can export your artwork as a PSD, which is a Photoshop compatible file, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, PDF, and a Procreate file. And then if you're doing animation, you can also export your animation as a multiple different formats. As you may have just seen, up on the screen was kind of a quick menu. And the quick menu you can access if you're using an Apple Pencil 2. You can program the little button on the side of the pencil to access the quick menu. And you can program all those little buttons in the quick menu to have different features that suit your workflow. So those are just some of my favorite features of Procreate. It's a fantastic app, very easy to use from beginners to experts. The more you use it, the more you learn. And you can check out some tutorials on my channel if you want to learn some more about techniques in Procreate. Thanks for subscribing, commenting, ringing that bell, and hope to see you next time.